Dos, Nanan on Echitnive. My name is Ann Duran, and talk a little bit about Christmas, Hano thought, memories when I was a little girl. Like I said before, my grandparents never did celebrate no kind of holidays. I got a glimpse of them when I used to come down and visit my mother and my father. They celebrated just about everything. You know, I asked my grandfather about it one time, and he said, well, those silly Ni'atho, those non-Indians, he said, they do crazy things. He said, Christmas time, he said, they go and cut our fresh air down. We were watching through the windows, and they put stuff on a tree. That's why we call Christmas Hano thought. And then there goes this guy running around a neighborhood with a red suit on, big belly, and carrying a sack. And I said, who's that? Is he real? And my grandpa said, no, it's not real. Yeah, he said, that's what the non-Indians do, he said. Their celebration. They give gifts, he said. And I let it go for a long time. But going to school at St. Stephen's, I noticed around holidays how everybody was excited. And during Christmas time, especially, you know, they would have these magazines laying around, these catalogs. And I started flipping through them when I was probably about maybe 8, 9 years old. And, you know, kids, you know, we all wish for things. And in that one catalog, I got a picture of the dolls that they had. And I kept looking at them, and I kept touching them. And finally, I tore that page out of that magazine, out of that catalog. And I wished for that doll, because when it would lay down, it would close its eyes, and you pick it up and its eyes would open, and that really amazed me. And I folded it up and I took it home. My uncle must have seen me every now and then. I would open it and just look at it, and he told my grandfather and my grandmother about this doll that I was wishing for. Christmas came, and I said, if there's a real Santa Claus, I want this doll. And I didn't get it that year. But I kept my picture, I kept my hopes up, and the following Christmas, when we gathered at the hall, they used to have big bundles for the families. There was clothes in there, and toys for the kids, and they had a bag of candy, hard candy with fruit in there, and they would give it to each family. And I noticed a blanket behind my grandmother and grandfather's chair, and I kept looking at it. And after our presents were given, my grandmother got up. She stood up, and she went around there and picked up that package. It was covered with a blanket. And then she came over to me. Nachitni be, nah, she said. She gave me that blanket, and I thought it was a new quilt. And then I opened it up, and you should have seen me. I screamed and I hollered and I started crying. That doll was in there. I opened that package, I tore up the box, I lifted it up, and that doll opened its eyes. I laid it back down, and it closed its eyes. And I never let that doll go. I took real good care of it throughout the years. As I got older, I went and put it away. I wrapped it up and I put it away. And I forgot about it for a long time. And when I got married and had my own kids, you know, we celebrated Christmas. I put up a tree. One year, my mother came over and she said, we're kind of short of money, Mary. She said, do you think you and Delmer can buy a present for my 2 younger ones, David and Rose? And I said, yeah, we can do that. And then we talked about it, and we got a trike for my brother David, a red tricycle. And Delmer wanted to get her a doll, and then I remembered my doll. I said, I have a doll for her. I said, we don't have to buy one, and I'll make a quilt for the doll. And so that's what I did. I didn't want to part with my doll. I held it, and I kissed it, and I made that quilt and wrapped it up and put it in Christmas wrapping. And then I gave it to my sister Rose. And oh man, she took good care of that doll too. You should have seen when she opened that package, that doll was in there. So, you know, things like that. Since we've been recording, I've been remembering stories from my childhood. So, just wish everybody a real safe and happy Hano thought. Aho.